What's up, everybody, and welcome to another beefy episode of America's Best Restaurants. Today, we are in beautiful Buffalo, Wyoming, as I'm getting ready to go inside Bozeman Trail Steakhouse. And this is where I understand they have some of the most delicious meat that you can find in this area. So I'm super excited to go inside, have some fun, and as always, get to the eating. Okay, I am ready for some beef. They say, where's the beef? The beef is right here at Bozeman Trail Steakhouse, and I have the owner of Bozeman Trail Steakhouse, Mandy, right here. All right, so what are you about to give me?
We are gonna make a prime rib melt. So it is a grilled prime rib on a sourdough bread, cheese, grilled onions. It is going to melt in your mouth.
It's called a prime rib melt, right?
It is, it is.
Well, then I expect it fully to melt in my mouth and not in my hand. Oh my goodness.
It will.
So, I mean, I understand that it's a steakhouse, so you guys have a litany of beef choices here. I mean, like I said, where's the beef? But
Right.
It's not just steak here. You guys have some other favorites too.
We do, and the thing is, we try to focus on locals. And our locals love this sandwich, so that's why we're making it for you.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm really excited to eat it. All right, so I think Chad just finished up over there on that grill. What you got for me, Chad?
Here it comes. All right.
Ooh, look at this beautiful thing. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that ooey gooey, la la la. Oh, come on. Mandy! Chad! It is not a game!
Success.
Yes! That slaps super hard. First, foremost, and lastly, that prime rib meat right there, that is quality meat. My teeth slice right through it. It is so perfectly cooked. The flavors that come off of that, I can just eat that steak, I can eat that prime rib on its own. That is perfect. Mandy, you wanna know what that is?
Home run.
Absolute home run.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we've gotten out of the kitchen, and once again, I'm next to the very awesome Mandy here. Mandy, again, I want to thank you so much for allowing the ABR Roadshow to highlight Bozeman Trail Steakhouse. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting your staff, and honestly being in this really lovely establishment. I mean, it is so pretty here.
We've enjoyed having you guys here.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
First thing I gotta ask you about, because I just mentioned it, is like the whole vibe of the restaurant. Like, I mean, I know my name is Theodore, but like I feel like Theodore Roosevelt in the Rough Riders, you know?
It's a very Western theme.
Very, very Western.
You could almost think you like stepped back in time.
Talk about how that is such an impression upon the identity of this restaurant.
There is so much history in this town. This whole town, this community, and there's a lot of people who have generations of families that have lived here. It goes way back. And so the history of Buffalo and who settled here in the Bozeman Trail that came through here up into Montana, it kind of built this place, that history thing. I think people that travel out west, tourists and people that come out here, they want to feel what that Wild West was like.
Yeah.
And so they can walk in here and kind of get a feel, okay, cowboy boots, we need a cowboy hat, we need to see some cattle going down the road.
But even like down to the name, Bozeman Trail Steakhouse,
Yes.
That even kind of ties into the history of not just this restaurant, but this town and this area.
Yes, settlers came through here specifically as a pit stop. There's water here. It was a good camping place before they then carried on up into Montana looking for gold.
Nice.
Yes.
So, I mean, this place obviously, it walks the walk.
Yes.
As far as the historical aspect of it.
It does.
Because this is one of those places that literally was the frontier. This was a part of, that time in America, which is quite remarkable, especially when you see like all the things inside here, even the design of the restaurant. It feels like I'm walking back into an old saloon back in 1832 or whatever year it was back then. I'm sorry, my history isn't that great, but like that's just the kind of whole vibe that you get when you walk through here, and I think that's really special. You even got like a little trail that goes around the building.
Yes, to look at some wagons, and there's an old settler's cabin and stuff. So yeah, even inside, walk around the outside of the building. There's just as much history.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. We were talking a little earlier, and you had mentioned to me that just as it was in the past, even today, a lot of people use this as a stop along their trail.
Yes.
While they're traveling.
Lots of travelers. They make a point that this is in their either lunch or dinner time period, so that they stop here and eat, whether it's lunch or dinner, on their way to whatever they do. So annually, we have people that come through here regularly. Every year we make a point to stop here so we can eat. And they remember servers, or they always have a meal they always eat. So it's fun to see them again.
And to hear stuff like that, it's pretty awesome. There's so much history in this place. Even when you come down to the history of the fact that a lot of people that have worked here, a lot of times, they're just like generational as far as your patrons as well as the people who have worked here. It's just everything historical here.
I think there's at least every person in this town has said, I've worked there at some point. When I was in high school, or when I went to college, or I needed a job for a year in between. I think a lot of people that reside here have at some point in their life worked in this restaurant. It's been here since the 70s. So there was a lot of years that people have had a chance to step in here and don an apron or a chef's coat and put in some hours.
You said it's been here since the 70s. 1870s or the 1970s? Right. That's my question. That's what I want to know. I'm not going to lie. I see a couple of dishes in front of me I really want to tear into.
Definitely try it.
So before I do, is there anything that you want your community and America as a whole to know about Bozeman Trail Steakhouse?
I think for me is I want this place just to be consistent, that people come in here, they always enjoy their meal, they always have friendly service, and we are always here 7 days a week, open for them to come and join us.
Awesome. Consistency.
Yes.
You're consistent.
Yes.
Matter of fact, before we go, I did want to point that out. That's a big thing about this place. You're consistent quality of food. You're consistent in service. You're consistent in your hours. You're like, when you come to Bozeman Trail Steakhouse, you know what to get.
Yeah.
All right, so Mandy, tell me what I'm looking at here right now.
All right, this is the Bozeman burger.
Ooh.
Lots of blue cheese, bacon on half-pound burger.
Half-pound?
Half-pound burger.
Oh, this is a monster. I've seen a lot of burgers come out that kitchen, so I'm really excited to sink my teeth into this
popular.
right here. And one thing I've learned about Wyoming out here, you guys know beef. What's beef? Beef is when you need two buns between your teeth. And that's what I'm talking about here. So I already know this is gonna be a high quality bun right here, burger. Oh yeah. That burger slaps hard. High quality meat. The star of the show is the hamburger. I wouldn't even need the blue cheese. I wouldn't need the bacon. I wouldn't even, frankly, honestly, need the bun. That burger that you guys use is high quality, is seasoned perfection. How can you beat a half pound?
Right?
A half-pound burger.
You're not gonna walk away hungry.
Not at all, no. Now, we're gonna move on to this one. You already told me what this is. Let's remind the people what I'm looking at.
This is a Crazy Woman Ribeye.
Crazy Woman
We
Ribeye.
have Cajun seasoning, onions and peppers, and mushrooms on top.
All right, cool. And ooh, look at these mashed potatoes too.
Loaded mashed potatoes.
All right, so I get a little aggressive when I'm cutting the meat, so I just wanted to get that off the plate. This way I wasn't gonna have no problems. So I'm gonna cut through this right here. Oh, look at that cook. That is a great cook on that steak right here. Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. And I'm already looking at this steak and I'm seeing how tender it is. I don't even have to put it in my mouth to see the tender, because you can, and I don't know if you can zoom in close enough to this, John, but these lines right here, the way it's almost kind of like separating a little bit, that indicates to me that that's tender meat right there. Because if it's not tender meat, you don't get those little lines of separation. So I already know what my mouth is about to get into. Oh, okay. Give me a hug.
You deserve an Emmy.
That slaps super hard. I don't care what nobody says. That is perfectly tender, perfectly cooked. The flavors go crazy. You got the mushrooms, the onions, and the peppers. But me personally, I don't really care about any of that. I care about the meat. I care about that steak. And that steak is perfect. Like seriously, like I said before, super tender. I knew it was gonna be tender before I even put it in my mouth, because just looking at it, I've looked at enough steaks, doing this job, and just being a fat boy in general, to know when I'm looking at a tender steak, that is a tender steak, perfection, quality meat, quality food. You guys are absolutely killing the game out here, Mandy. Mandy, thank you so much for allowing America's Best Restaurants to highlight Bozeman Trail Steakhouse. It's been an absolute pleasure eating your food,
Thank you.
hanging out, talking to you,
Yes.
talking to your staff. It's just been an entire experience.
We've enjoyed having you.
Thank you so
You
much.
bet. Thank you.
Man, I gotta tell you, I really did enjoy my time here at the Bozeman Trail Steakhouse. I mean, top quality meat. I mean, that's kind of what the words of the day are when it comes to the food. I mean, the Bozeman burger, it was just a tasty burger with top quality half-pound burger. I mean, come on, you're never gonna be hungry after eating that boy. And then on top of that, that shaved prime rib sandwich off the hook. And then, whew, that ribeye, oh my God, so tender, just magnifique. But my favorite things about this place is it is a true destination location, as it really transports you back to the times of the frontier. And then on top of that, getting to talk to the owner, Mandy. She is an awesome person and has truly made this place a destination location. Unfortunately though, it's time for us to keep it pushing. So with that said, I'm Theo Williams for America's Best Restaurants. Hope to see you.